Well, hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emmett and today I have another landscape photography video for you guys. Now, the weather this time of year where I live is actually not particularly good for landscape photography. It's winter time now, and so everything is kind of dead looking. The leaves have fallen off of the trees, the grass is dead, but there hasn't been any snow yet. That will normally come a little bit later in the year for us. Some snow would really kind of spice up the landscape, but that just hasn't happened yet. Now, I've lived in this area for a long time, and so I sort of anticipated that that would be the case, and so the video that I have for you guys today is a sunset photography video that I pre-recorded back in August. Coming at it from a little bit of a different angle today, and hoping to catch some of the clouds as they're maybe breaking a little bit up after a storm this evening. It's not really breaking up as much as I was hoping that it would. I was hoping that kind of these dark clouds would really break up and that the sun would break through, but that hasn't really happened as much as what I was really hoping. But I think maybe I'll be able to get some good pictures, and if I don't, you probably won't see this footage. Right, so this is what I've got in mind for a shot right here with kind of the boat ramp going down. There's some piers going out and then the sunset behind it. So I'm going to have to set my camera up pretty quick and get a shot of that. So probably won't talk about it a whole lot, but that's what I've got in mind for the composition. I'm trying out a brand new tripod here this evening as well. I just got this about a week ago. I actually wanted it for the neck here that's able to tilt over to do top-down shots, but it's much sturdier than the tripod that I had before, which is really great since the new camera, the Z6ii, is a lot heavier than my other camera, and it's very sturdy. It's got a very nice ball head on top, and just works quite well. So what we're going to do here, since the piers are rather close and everything else is a little bit farther away, is we're going to set this to a tighter aperture such that everything should stay in focus across the depth of field. So I think I'll do maybe 18 here, and then I'll just set my shutter speed to match. The shutter speed isn't going to matter as much for this photo. And because it is a sunset, I will turn on the bracketing as well, just to make sure that I get a good exposure for everything. I think what I want to try to do is get a little bit closer here, but keep a lot of the sky in and crop some of the ground out. Because it's just a road there, right? So I'm gonna try to change my composition a little bit. I'm not exactly certain how I want to do that though. Now, to be completely honest with you, with my tripod all the way up as it is, it's a little bit hard to tell what I'm doing on the camera because it's significantly higher than me. It's just about the max of my arm's reach when it's all the way up on this tripod. But I think, despite that, I have finally come to a composition that I really like. If I can reach the playback button. There we are. So I've managed to get out most of the kind of weird foreground elements. So there's like this little dock here that I don't like at the side of the boat ramp. It's just a little bit distracting. It gets in the corner of the frame. And then you got kind of these lights over here and the water tower and so forth. So by cropping it to a square, we've got just this section right here without the junk over to the left, and by getting the tripod really high and panning around just right, I've gotten out this dock from the corner of the frame because there was just a little bit of a gray spot there. And then as the wind has kind of been blowing across this direction, it's pushed those clouds over. And so now, if we take a look back at the camera screen, you can see that there is just some real nice light right about there that looks really good for the photo. So again, I'm just kind of snapping a few of these now and then, and that way later I can just pick where I like the clouds best. So there's kind of the clouds, and of course it's bracketed multiple exposures for clouds and ground because of the light difference, but you can just see right now that's kind of how those clouds look there in the shot, which I think is quite nice. And again, you can see all the junk from this side is gone, as well as the dock from that bottom corner there. Alright, so I think I've pretty much exhausted this composition at this point. It's starting to get a bit darker over here. The clouds have changed a lot. I ended up turning the ISO up a little bit throughout the shooting, which isn't really a big deal with this full frame sensor on the Z6 II, so that's really nice. And the focus looked very sharp at f/18 throughout the photo, which was really good as well from this Z24-200mm lens that I've got on there. It looks very good, which is really nice. So I'm going to try another composition over here behind me, because these clouds over here with this tree look quite interesting. So I'm gonna try a couple of shots of that and then probably head out after that, because it is starting to get a little bit dark at this point. So I'm just gonna walk over there. And there is this road here. I don't want to be in the middle of the road, although it probably would be one of the better spots really for this photo that I want to get. But I don't want to be standing in the middle of the street, obviously. So I think if I stand right here, I'm just off the road enough. There shouldn't really be too much traffic coming through. It is just to the boat ramp, but that way I'm out of the way, and then I can get the tree behind me with these nice kind of light clouds up above. So that's what I'm gonna attempt to do here. So just to talk you through this shot a little bit, once again, like I did over there, I put my tripod up very high. As you can see, I've extended the legs all the way out. This tripod gets really tall. It actually gets tall enough where it's just the maximum of my reach to be able to reach the camera up there, which makes it a little bit tricky to work with. But what that does is it gets some of this grass in the foreground out of the frame, giving me just the tree and the sky above it, which is what I actually want in my photo. That's what the subject is, right? All this grass in the foreground is a little bit distracting. Foregrounds can be good, but this particular one, it just isn't adding anything to the photograph. So I put it all the way up there. I was kind of considering a square crop on this one again as well, so we'll see. Maybe in the editing that'll happen, maybe it won't. And what I've done is I've turned the ISO up. I've brought the aperture down, because there's nothing behind it. There's not a lot of depth going on, so I don't really need that tight aperture to keep everything sharp. And then I've brought the shutter speed up in the event that any birds happen to fly through and I want to capture them. So I'm just gonna, again, just like I did over there, take a few different shots, maybe as some clouds might move, some birds, that sort of thing. The other thing that I've done is I've turned the bracketing off, because I don't really want to get a nice brightly exposed foreground with the sky. I actually just kind of want the silhouette of the tree on the sky. So that's what we've got going on right now. Now with this large full frame sensor, we're not really going to see any noise in the photo even at the 2500 ISO. That's really not that high for it, and so everything looks quite nice there. and everything is looking nice and sharp in the tree. The clouds maybe are slightly out of focus, but they're clouds, right? It doesn't really matter that much. And they have a nice bright contrast to them. You probably can't see it as well on the camera, but you'll see when I put the photo up on the screen. There's a real nice contrast in the clouds. Alright, well I think that is a wrap for this photo shoot. I'm pretty happy with the way that these pictures look, I think. Obviously I'll know more once I get them on the computer, but super nice that I was able to get some good photos with some nice lighting today, and it wasn't a total bust. You never know with sunsets. And I changed around where I went for this photo shoot this evening, just based on where things looked like they were going to happen in the sky. Alright guys, well that is all for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. A little bit of a older thing that I pulled out of the vault for you guys. Hopefully soon we'll maybe get some snow here. I really want to get out and do some photos in the snow, and so be on the lookout for that hopefully in the future. If you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to hit the like button and to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more things that I'm really excited to share with you in the future. As always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.